like that's why they don't advertise the way that they do. They don't want to cross any lines.
I mean, yeah, personally, I understand that. But there's, like I said, there's people in dire need that actually need this. And there's some doctors that are like, okay, I don't care. You know, if you pay the $75 or whatever, then, you know, you'll get your card. But at the same time, with what I'm trying to say, it's messed up that they're making us pay for a card, you know?
Hey, I get it. I get it. I just look at it as like a fee to pay the license to drive my car, right? Every month or every year I got to pay to get that sticker on my plate again to keep driving my car.
I mean, yeah, but it doesn't make sense.
I get it. There's a lot of things about it that doesn't make sense to me either.
Are y'all gonna have
I'm not. Go ahead.
Are y'all gonna have like people start protesting against this personally, or what are y'all gonna do about that?
You know, the fact that we're trying to make it recreational. You know, there's certain people, the devil's lettuce, and you know, it shouldn't be legal in any way, shape, or form because people are gonna abuse it. But is it really? And can benefit from it, like we're punishing the wrong set of people.
Right.
You know, people abuse pills.
Yes.
And can very easily overdose.
Yes.
And we found a way to regulate it and stuff like that. So why can't we regulate marijuana, which you cannot overdose on?
Yes.
It has so many of the same medicinal properties, and slowly but surely, we're climbing that ladder. We're slowly but surely getting there.
And that's what I've been saying for the longest time ever. Like, people need to protest a lot more and speak up about it and be like, hey, I feel like I shouldn't need the card to go in there and to get what I need to get, you know? You see what I'm saying? Like, I mean, it's kind of sad.
Now, remember when I was saying that some people are going to protest that? This was the caveat that they said, okay, you can sell it, but you got to make people register and pay for a license to do it because we don't want just anybody out there going and buying it. Like, this was the give and take. And then recreational is the letting, okay, well, we don't care about the medicinal part. Go ahead and sell it recreational, but you have to heavily tax it, and you have to, there's always going to be that other side, and we're still trying to cross that line. So consider recreational exactly what you're asking for. But medical will always have this thing on it because it's for medicinal purposes.
Yeah.
It's not for show. It's
Yeah.
not for just go and get. Because even there's over-the-counter stuff and there's behind-the-counter stuff, right?
Yeah.
Think of this as behind the counter, right?
Yeah.
Marijuana is behind the counter.
Yeah, that's something that we just talked about.
Over the counter with recreational. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I see where you're coming from. That's crazy. Do you have any other advice personally on this situation?
Advice for like trying to make it so that you're not paying for the medical card, is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay, well, I mean, honestly, it comes in voting, and all of that stuff is going to be controlled by votes, right? So speaking to your local congressperson, speaking to your local representative, letting them know, say, hey, you know, if you can get them all on board, they're all going to be the ones that have to vote for this anyway. So in a way, that's not a protest, but what that is action. That's putting into action what you want to see done. And I know that's asking a lot because it feels like just little old you, but how do you think that medical marijuana got to what it was anyway, right? So if you want to see medical marijuana not have that $75 fee, or maybe just make that fee a one-time fee, or make the fee much less a year so it's more affordable. Those are all things that absolutely you can argue for, but that's going to go through like Congress people and getting people together, getting signatures together, bringing that to your local representative or congressman and saying, look, I've got these people saying, look, I want medical, but I just can't afford that $75 a month, and we want to see change. So, and again, that's not a protest, that's action. And that's what you would have to do. I know that's a lot to take in.
No, it's just that's an awesome message
Being
behind
honest with
it.
you.
I feel like you just
Yeah,
put
it's just.
inspiration into my life, honestly.
Well, I'm glad I could do that for you.
You
But
could have been a
I'm
good
just speaking
motivational
real.
speaker.
Well, I'm the type of person that I care about what's going on in the world right now, and I, in no way, shape, or form, want to talk about politics on this call. Please don't bring them up. But I do pay attention to those things, and those things matter when it comes to because you got to get the rest of the world.
And you ain't wrong. You ain't
You got
wrong.
to get the rest of the, no matter which side of the aisle you're on, you got to get the rest of the world to agree with you. And so then now you got to start formulating well thought out things to present as your case for why it should be that way. And your argument is a good argument. There are people that are on a budget that can't afford $75 a year, even though it's only $75 a year. Now how about this? Let me use an example. I don't know if you know this, but if you were to make a purchase from us and you're eligible for SNAP, let's say you get food benefits right now from the state, just because you're eligible for them, you're eligible for a 10% discount from us on every single one of your purchases. They just may ask to see that card every time. And just like that, you save 10%. So why shouldn't the state put something out there where, hey, I'm eligible for food stamps. That should make my $75 $45.
I agree with
Right?
that. Yeah, I agree
Right?
with that
So
statement.
and that's kind of like a give and take. Now you're not asking them for it for free. You're just asking them, hey, I'm on hard times. Help me out a little bit more.
I agree with that
So there's ways
statement.
to
That
get
is
it done.
awesome. That is awesome. You just gave me nothing but full motivation.
Well, I'm glad. I'm glad I did that for you. And I'm feeling proud of myself too because, like I said, today is day 2 on the job. I was in training all of last 3 weeks and on the phone last week, but still in training. Today is day 2 on the floor, and I love getting feedback from a customer like that. That I just gave you inspiration to try and go out there and change the world if we're being honest with ourselves, right? Because that's changing the world. If you can do that, what else can you do?
Yes. I'm also a full-time YouTuber, so that's what I do is YouTube, 24/7, and like I put inspiration out there too, so I really love the message behind this today.
Good. Now you got me inspired because I've been wanting to be a YouTuber, but I've always been like, man, well, I don't have subjects. I don't have this. I don't have that. How do I get it to pop off? Right? So here, I'm glad I was able to give you some inspiration. I promise I'm going to be looking on YouTube for talk to a guy on Chewy one day and ...
Well, the best inspiration that I can give you is I woke up one day and I started filming on my phone. Just filming about, like, you can film about your day, what you do in your daily life, what you cook for dinner, you could do anything. And that's what I started doing. And I gotten into comedy, so I'm a stand-up comedian too. And, I like to argue and some point of views in my videos, but yeah, that's just me.
Amen. Well, I won't lie. I'm in my mid-40s now, and I spent 20 years in the music industry. I worked with my cousin, who's a singer. He's an R&B singer. You may have heard of him. If you know the song "I Ain't Mad at You" by Tupac, the guy that's singing the hook, Danny Boy, that's my cousin. He's my family.
Oh,
And
wow.
Ever since Pac died, and let me side note, he was supposed to have been in the car with Pac, but he got a stain on his pants. He went to the store to get new pants and didn't go to the fight. And it was between the fight and the club that Tupac got shot, and Danny just wasn't in the car because he had to go get some new pants.
That is
But anyway,
crazy.
I digress. I know, right? I digress. Once Pac died, he came back to Chicago, and him and I linked up because I was this technical computer dude that could make all that happen, and it was in a time when computers were new. So I've always given him that presence, and now 20 years later, he's got an album on, you can find it on any streaming service called Black Heart. His name is Danny Boy. The album is called Black Heart. He's got another album coming out soon. I'm designing his album cover right now. It's going to be called The Soundtrack. And he may even be signing back to Death Row through Snoop Dogg. So, I mean, like, that I've definitely got things I've been working on and things I can talk about and things I want to YouTube about. And that may be my lane right there. I've been saying that to myself that, maybe I can use that to talk about, Danny's journey and stuff like that.
That just really touched my heart. I'm only 25, by the way, and I'm just now starting to do social media. So, if you have any advice, because I do want to be rich and famous one day, but it ain't about like the money, but if you have any advice, like, please share with me.
The best advice that I can give to you is be you. End of subject. Period. Full stop. Be you. If it means you want to glue hair to the wall, if it's going to help your creative process, do it.
Right.
Right? All of the greatest artists I ever met being around my cousin. And now I'm a 90s R&B guy, so we're talking about Jodeci and Genuine and all those. I've met all those guys. They were my heroes growing up as a kid. And now I got weird relationships with them now because I know them as people instead of my heroes. But the one thing that goes across all of them is all the artists are always the weirdos. So if it means you're being a weirdo, you're probably doing something right.
That made me cry over here. I love the inspiration.
And I mean that. I really mean that.
That is awesome.
But hey, I can't talk too long. I know you're feeling inspiration. I figured maybe that's a good place to make sure that is there anything else I could help you with about the Trulieve site or anything else?
No, sir. I think that'll be it, but I really do appreciate you.
Okay. Yes, and I appreciate our conversation. That's why I hung out with you. They've told me since I started, don't worry about your talk time too much. Take care of the customers. And while we didn't really get much done, you do know now how to get all the things that you need. And you got a little inspiration at the end to kind of give you a little boost in what you're doing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sure. I really appreciate you.
Well, hey, there may be a survey after this. God bless you, man. I really wish you the best of luck. And thank you for calling.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
All right.
Bye
now.
Bye.
Thanks for participating in this brief 5-question survey. Your feedback is greatly appreciated. Please answer the following questions using your telephone keypad. On a scale of 1 to 5, where 1 is very unsatisfied and 5 is very satisfied, how satisfied were you with the agent that assisted you today? On a scale of 1 to 5, where 1 is strongly disagree and 5 is strongly agree, did we press 1 for yes, 2 for no? On a scale of 0 to 10, where 0 is extremely unlikely and 10 is extreme. If you would like to share more about your experience today, please do so after the tone. If you do not wish to leave a message, you may hang up now.